that life was a death sentence. At least I know I got 20 years in me. Look at me.
He's somebody who struggled early on in his 20s, his early 20s. He was a drug addict and he sold drugs and bought drugs. He was never a kingpin. He never hurt anyone. And he served time for those in the state. And it was a really tough time for him. And his sister was killed on the way to visit him. And that was something he took very, very hard. He felt so much responsibility for, and he had to go through the grieving process all by himself, without his family, and his family is very close. And at the time, he was comforted by a friend and another inmate who really helped him through that. So Mr. Ray leaves prison. He knows he's never going back. He's not going to do that anymore. He gets treatment for his drug problems, and you jump forward 10 years, and he is living the American dream. He's married, he's got kids, he owns his own business, and then he gets a call from this buddy who had helped him. This buddy had been arrested and needed to provide information to the cops to lessen his own sentence, and said, Evans, I need your help. I'm in trouble. I need 50 grams of coke. And Mr. Ray said, no, I don't do that anymore. I can't help you. Finally, with this friend saying enough times, my life is in danger. I was there for you. Remember when I was there for you. You got to do this for me. Evan says, okay, I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Let me just do this once. And, he's the middleman. He doesn't make any money, but he gets him his drugs, and he's like, okay, that's enough. And then this is also on the audio that when the informant took the drugs back to the agent said, no, not 50 grams of coke. We need 50 grams of crack. And the reason for that is because 50 grams of coke wouldn't have triggered the mandatory minimum on the third 3 strikes and you're out to get a mandatory life sentence. The agent here was manufacturing a case to get Mr. Ray under the threat of a mandatory life sentence.
I thought he had a good defense of not being involved. I thought there were trappings of entrapment and were good defenses for him. But unfortunately, he was convicted. I refused to give him a life sentence that I was required to do. But the U.S. Attorney's Office, the government, appealed my comments and my decision, and they took it to the next level, which was the United States Court of Appeals for the 4th Judicial Circuit. They heard the case, they reversed my decision, and they remanded the case back to me as a trial judge and ordered and instructed that I impose a life sentence on Mr. Ray, which was really disheartening to me. I don't want to do it. I would not do it under normal circumstances, but I have to do it under the law. Most of the judges that I've talked to never liked the sentencing guidelines because, again, it restricted and limited the discretion of judges to look at the entire circumstances before sentencing someone.
Congress never sit in front of us. Congress never heard the stories. Congress don't know nothing about my family or my co-defendant's family, but the judge do. So why not, if you allow this judge to sit on this bench as a district court federal judge, why not give him the sole opportunity and strength to be able to decide whether a person get life or not? I'm a non-violent person. Not a knife charge, not a stabbing, not a shooting, not nothing. When I was locked up with murderers, pedophiles, rapists, they got 20 years, 25 years. See, I sold 60 grams of crack cocaine. I received life plus 10 years. Life plus 10 years.
So there was a period in which I thought that he would have gotten clemency sooner. I thought the process was moving faster than it was, and there was a time when a big announcement was going to come out, and I was positive, I just knew in my bones that he was going to get clemency, and he didn't. And when he called, I was on the phone crying to him. This is the man who's serving the life sentence, and he said to me, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay."
when it came through the mail, that big yellow envelope that said White House, it threw me off. And my heart was beating, and I felt real old, and and I was just nervous. And I got a young man by the name of Daryl Carter. I gave him the envelope. I said, "Open this for me. I can't open it." And when he opened, he said, "Oh man, this is just a letter from Obama." And then all the staff was like, "How does Obama write you?" And I was like, "I wrote him," So I went straight to my cell. Each cell is about big as one of these doors, and there's a little window in the middle. I put a piece of paper up in the window, and I got on my knees and I prayed. And I thanked the man upstairs for giving me another chance in life.
Was released several months ago, and everyone was excited. His family was excited. I was excited for him, and everyone rooting for him was certainly excited. He came to my office in Baltimore, and just about brought tears to my eyes just to see that person that I had sentenced to life that I didn't want to get another lease on life.
And that was so surreal. I couldn't believe it. The judge that had to give me life even though he didn't want to. I'm standing in front of him. Now my next person I got to see is Obama. I owe him a thank you, a big old embrace. I just happen to be one of the fortunate ones to have a big, loving, caring family. I'm family oriented, and they've had my back ever since. So, I'm a proud dad, and I'm not going to do anything to mess this up.
Mr. Ray is lucky because he has a family that's doing well, that he could move in with his mom and his stepfather and take care of them and have a landing pad. So he's the exception, and he's still also having challenges and difficulties because he's got a felony record. So more traditional employment is sort of outside of his reach. But other people who've come out through the Clemency Initiative also have felony records. They don't have family. So getting back on your feet is really, really hard when you have nothing.
And once you open that revolving door with prison, it keeps open. I want to be one of those men that don't forget the guys I left behind. Because everybody not bad, men or women. People make mistakes every day. They just need the opportunity for a chance to try to do the right thing. I want to try to help give them that opportunity. And it's going to be about helping the next man. Each one teach one. That's my drug of choice, help. Now I have keys to the building, and it's just so amazing. It's unbelievable.